Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you why it costs more to be broke. Yes, it costs you more money to be broke. And in so many ways, I'm about to break this down for you. You already know it is always going to be story time when you're talking to me. So I'll give you a few examples on why it truly costs more to be broke. When you're broke, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Everything is on a credit card. There are certain things that will take you over the top to where you cannot climb out of this debt without changing your mindset. For example, medical expenses will cripple you, right? Emergency expenses like a flat tire will cripple you. All these things will cripple you where you have to put it on your credit card. And right now with these high interest rate environments, you'll be paying 25, 28, even 30% on your credit card. So you're going to be paying 30% more for the same stuff that someone would pay cash for. If you listen to Dave Ramsey, if you listen to anybody else who might pay in cash, I am not telling you that you should be paying for everything in cash. But what I am telling you is that you do get deals when you bring cash to the table. I walk into a dealership, they tell me a car is $15,000. I tell them I have $11,000 cash right now. They're going to take it. You know why? Because when interest rates are so high and no one can afford to actually pay using credit and credit cards, this is when cash is king. This is truly when you can use cash as leverage. The same way you use debt and credit as leverage, you can now use cash in this specific environment as leverage because they know you can close on a deal right now. They know you don't need to call someone else. They know that you don't have to check in with nobody. You can buy this car right now. You can stop their debt services, their debt payments, their cost to carrying this car in their dealership. And I'm just using cars as an example in this sentence, but I literally bought my car for $11,000. Was the sticker price $11,000? Absolutely not. It was so much more. But I was able to buy my car for $11,000 in 2021, and now it's about to be 2024, still running smooth, very low maintenance. I paid so much more for a more expensive car than I did for the car that I bought for 11 grand. Now, moving on. Another thing that will stifle people outside of paying so much more on credit and debt servicing is your credit score itself. If you have a bad credit score because you're not paying things off on time, because you're carrying over a balance, because you're using your credit for things that you don't need, now it's going to cost you more to own a home. When it cost me $700 and $1,200 respectively to own a home, I had a 780 credit score, which means I could get the best rate in the market. I got a house at 2.625% and another one at 2.99%. Granted, in that interest rate environment, even if you had a bad credit score, you would have been paying maybe 3.5%. On both properties, we would have had an interest rate of about 3.5%, which is far better than even right now. So because interest rates, if you've been watching this channel, you know interest rates have been going up because the Fed has increased interest rates. If you had a horrible credit score, you could have still had a better interest rate at 680 credit in 2021 than you would have with a perfect 800 credit score now in 2023. Yes, that's mind-boggling. Someone with bad credit would have still had a better interest rate than you in 2021 than you could possibly get right now in 2023 going into 2024. This is why when people say you can't time the market, they're absolutely false when it comes to real estate. But it might be true when it comes to the stock market. Real estate is truly seasonal. You have to wait for interest rates to go back down. And interest rates are actually going down right now. From 8%, they're now in the high 7%. So although it's still very, very bad, at least you can see that mortgage rates are coming down. And so even if you have bad credit, the more you work on your credit as it's coming down, is going to allow you to purchase properties. It's going to allow you to actually have a home in the future and live out that American dream. Now, moving on, you now know that having bad credit, debt is bad. You now know that sometimes even if you had a bad credit score, it would have been good for you to just buy the property when you did in 2021 and you would have had a 3% interest rate. Sorry, I have a cold, but I'm still going to give you the best content that I can, so bear with me. 1 second, I actually have to spit this out because it's so bad. So you're going to get a little walkthrough of my house in this video. I hope that you enjoy. Thank you all for sticking with me. Woo. This is for my true YouTubers. You get to see the raw, uncut me going to the kitchen just now. Now, my house is super quiet. It's a Sunday when I'm filming this video and everything. It feels so good, so peaceful. I just celebrated Thanksgiving late after coming back from Cali, Colombia, Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena. And so, I'm just enjoying my Sunday morning, giving you the content that you deserve. Even though I got a cold and I'm a little sick, I hope that you can subscribe and like to this video because it is truly hard to put out a lot of content, and I'm doing my best to do that for you all. Now, it costs more to be broke because not only do you have to pay more for your car, not only do you have to pay more for groceries, goods, services, you also get taxed more on everything. Not from the federal government, not from the state, but you get taxed because people don't trust you. You don't buy the car with cash. You now buy with credit, right? And so your interest rate is going to be higher. You're going to have the highest interest rates. You're going to have the highest cost to carry. You're going to have the highest everything on housing, on food, on transportation, on everything. And then on top of that, there are people who will say they need to live a life that they can't afford. So now they need the best clothes, the best gear, the best everything. So it costs more to be broke. When you're rich, you don't care what you wear, right? I just put this shirt on. I wanted to look a little nice and pristine when I'm talking about finance and education and news like that. I get to wake up every single day to a nice, clean home, big, spacious, and with a set fixed cost. I'm not looking to scale up and do this and this and that. If the time comes where I have the money and I can do that, sure, but it's not a priority. I pay off everything on time. I don't have to worry about debt being carried over. I don't have to worry about increased payments. I don't have to worry about paying 30% more on something that should only cost $100. When it comes to my car, it's paid off in full. I can now not have to get gap insurance. I don't have to get all these other insurance because I save accordingly, and that saves me money in the process. Instead of putting 30% towards stuff that don't matter, I can now put 30% into investments that grow over time at 12, 11% interest rates. Because of this, it will truly cost you more to be poor. People will live paycheck to paycheck. People will buy cars they can't afford. People will try to look to spend every single dollar that they have because they have money in their account. They're like, how do I spend it? Instead of how do I invest it and how do I save it? Because of this, it costs more money to be poor. You have to change your mindset. You have to look at things differently. You have to look at how can I use this money to invest? How can I use this money to save? How can I save for a rainy day? What is 6 months expenses for me so that I don't have to have an emergency flat tire, so that I don't have an emergency when I go to the hospital, so that I don't have an emergency. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you all for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.